Hello and welcome to day 1 of the 3-day Ancestor Power Challenge. Today, we're not diving into research yet. We're just choosing one person and starting to get familiar with their life. Now, a lot of people feel stuck when it comes to their family history because they feel like there's too much, too much information, too much to sort through, too many places to start. So for this challenge, we're keeping it very simple. You're just going to focus on one ancestor. So step 1 is to choose an ancestor. So maybe you are brand new to learning about your ancestors. Maybe you don't even have an online family tree. That is totally fine. You don't need to have anything ready. You just need to know a little bit about one of your ancestors. So maybe you don't even know the names of your great-grandparents, but you know a name of your grandparent. So you can start there. Maybe you already have a very full family tree. It's hard to choose who you want to focus on. So I encourage you to take some time to contemplate that, to open up your family tree, maybe even close your eyes. Think about which ancestor is pulling to you right now. Which one wants to be known by you right now? And if it's not clear, then just choose someone and get started. You can always go back and do this again. So first, choose someone in your family tree. That is step 1. So you've got your ancestor, you've chosen someone. I do recommend to choose someone that's not very far back in your family tree, just because that's going to be harder to find information about them. We're not doing a ton of research, but if you want to learn a bit about them, look for census records. I recommend choosing someone who lived after 1850, and then you'll be able to actually find something about them in day 2. So step 2 is then to write down what you already know about them. Okay, so this might be where they lived, where they were born, what their birth date is, where they were married, the name of their spouse, just any information that you have already. Now, so even if you just have a little bit of information, that's totally fine. Just write down what you know already. If you have an ancestor that was very well researched, you can write down as little or as much as you want to. I don't want this to take a ton of time, but maybe you just want to write down a few details about them so that you can start to feel a connection to them. And step 3, you're going to look at what sources you already have for them. So this really only applies if you have an online family tree, or I guess if you don't have an online family tree, you can consider what sources you have, whether that's an oral history, whether that's a journal you have, whether that's a family tree written down on a piece of paper. Just take a look at what you already have information about. So I'm going to talk about if you have an online family tree, because I think a lot of people in this challenge do have an online family tree already. So I want you to look at what records you have for this person. Do you have census records for them? And what years of census records do you have for them? Write that down on the worksheet. Also, do you have birth, marriage, or death records or some sort of information that is a source for those vital dates that you have? And then anything else attached to them, just kind of write down what sources you have, what information you have access to. You're not looking for anything new today. You're just noticing what's already there. You're starting that connection with this ancestor. You're starting that relationship. And then once you've done that, once you've taken this time to start getting to know this ancestor, ask yourself, what stands out to me about this person so far? Maybe you start feeling some characteristics about this ancestor. Maybe you start feeling some sort of connection, some sort of understanding about who they were, what their life was like. We're not exploring anything quite yet. We're just looking at what we know already. Okay, so today, choose an ancestor and look at what you already have access to, what information you already have about them. I don't want you to spend a ton of time on this unless you have a ton of time and you want to spend that time, but you can just call this day completed by just choosing an ancestor and maybe looking at a few details about their life. So by the end of the day, you should have one person and a basic sense of their life. That's all you need. And then tomorrow we're going to take one record and learn how much it can actually tell you. Okay, after you've completed this video, I would love for you to go to the Facebook group and share which ancestor you have chosen to learn about during this challenge. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for day 2.